My father's work, worldwide, presents evolution. Evolution is the world's most evil lie, the world's most damaging scam. I was talking to a college professor back when I had a garage. He had come in for me to repair his car. I said something about the percentage of people who have back trouble. I don't remember what the statistics were then. They were pretty high. And he said, without blinking an eye, yes, it's unfortunate that we were meant to walk on, on all fours. And before I realized it, I laughed. I laughed at his face. I didn't mean to. I laughed at that idiotic remark. I didn't mean to laugh at him. I didn't mean to put him down. It just came out before I knew it. What he said was just so preposterous to me. I guess I should have asked him. I should have asked him to walk on all fours, his hands and his feet, for 5 minutes. That's it, 5 minutes. And he would see how preposterous that is. He, of course, would not have been able to do it. But I didn't want to embarrass him. I didn't want to embarrass him anymore, which he probably wasn't even embarrassed. He thought I was the fool. So I'm glad I didn't. That was back in the 70s when they taught that the Big Bang was a theory. Now they teach it to our children as a fact of science, even though they cannot prove it by science. They can't do it. It's not scientific. Scientists used to say they don't believe anything unless they could prove it by science. Let me tell you now, they cannot prove evolution. I have a problem with words. I actually used to speak real well, I promise. They cannot prove evolution by science, except, of course, by pseudoscience, fake science, which many people use today. Yeah. Man, and this is the problem, man just can't admit that there's anything more powerful, more intelligent, and more authoritative than he is. So he will believe anything, no matter how ridiculous it is, rather than to accept there is a power greater than he. There is a big difference between pseudoscience and real science. If there was a Big Bang, that is to say, some rock exploded in a universe which apparently didn't exist yet, my question is, who made the rock? And who made the universe? Who made the laws of combustion and ignition, which are laws of nature which would have already had to exist if anything was to ignite and to combust, that is, explode. To prove to me the Big Bang, You're going to have to go way, way back, much, much further than that. You have to prove who or what made the rock of all things. Who or what made that rock? Or wherever did it come from? Who or what made the laws of nature and the entire universe? None of these, I'm telling you, none of these can just happen by accident. Way down at the bottom of the sea is a fish called the angler fish, which lives where there is no light, so it's blind. This fish has a tentacle protruding out from its head, which has a bulb on it which blinks. Yes, an electric light bulb which blinks light like that to draw other fish to it for it to eat. Otherwise, it would starve to death. Now, tell me how it lived hundreds of millions of years without food until that tentacle evolved with a light bulb, the electric light bulb, on it so it could finally have its first meal. Just think, that's all it takes. Don't go by what you've been taught since you were a child. Think. Think. Do you start to see our insane evolution as a creator of this world is? But let's say the world started with a big bang. Let's imagine that. You've been doing that since you were a child, so let's imagine. The world started with a big bang. What caused all these miracles and wonders of all these kinds of life? See, maybe God did it that way. He could have. He could have done it that way. Maybe he put all these ingredients in that created all these animals and humans and insects and fish and fowl and birds, I guess it's the same thing, and brought it all together. He could have done that. He could have created it all, put all these ingredients in the pie, and brought it all together in one huge explosion. God's able to do that. Maybe he did. He, the all-powerful creator of all that there is, certainly could have done that. But it could not have happened. None of this could have happened just by accident. None of it could have come from nothing. None of it could have come about without a creator. Show me anything that has ever been created by accident, other than maybe a big hole in the ground from an explosion. An explosion can kill people, but it can't create people. It can't create humans, nor animals, nor bacteria, nor water, nor a planet, nor heaven, nor earth, nor a universe. It just so happens that without the exact right amount of oxygen in the air we breathe, we could not live. A little less or a little more oxygen in the air would destroy all flesh on the earth and the earth itself would crumble. Now, look, in this one video, I can explain how that all happened. Maybe and hopefully later. I've got a few extra videos I got to do before that. But actually, I'm only making this video at this time because as I was about to record the next two videos in line, my computer fell off the desk and broke the screen. Since the next two videos were on that computer, I'm making this one until my screen gets here. Obviously, I'm getting in a deep, deep, deep subject, which is for another time. But life itself could not exist without the exact right amount of oxygen and other gases in the air we breathe. I wonder how that exact mixture came about and how it is still maintained to this very day, 2024. Did that just happen by accident too? We all know the answer to that question. Whether we'll admit it or not, we know. But there's so much more to this subject, which I will consider or cover in future videos. But I think I've said enough for the time being. This will give us plenty to talk about in the comments for now. And yes, I know I will catch hell for what I've already said. I can just hear it now. But that's good. Conversation is how we learn. And yes, me too. Me too. I can learn too. My mother always said, learn everything you can about everything you can. She lived through the Depression, and she wanted me to know everything possible to get me through any future depression. Remember to share my videos, subscribe and like and follow my channel. All my videos can be seen at rumble.com as the banner there says. Rumble.com / my Father's Work Worldwide. Free, of course. I have nothing to sell. And until next time, goodbye.